Hello everybody. In this video we're going to be going over on how to solve this word problem here. Alright, so let's read the problem. On the first part of a path, a person walked with a speed of 3 kilometers per hour. So let's draw it out. So we have a person here walking on a path, and velocity, I'm going to call it velocity 1, is just 3. Alright, on the second part of the path, the person walked with a speed of 6 kilometers an hour. Alright, so there's two parts to the path. This is the second part, and the velocity is 6 miles an hour, alright? Or 6 kilometers an hour, sorry. And the average speed over the entire path was 5 kilometers an hour. So which part of the path is longer, and by how much? Alright, so we want to know if this path 1, I'm going to call it x1, or x2 for path 2, which one is longer? Alright, so we are given that the average speed over the entire path was 5 kilometers per hour. And what is average speed? Well, average speed is the result of the total distance. So that's x1 plus x2, that's the total distance of our path, over the total time. So the time, using this equation, so using speed is equal to distance, I'm going to call it d over time. Since we have this equation, velocity is equal to distance over time, we can multiply time and then divide by velocity to rewrite the equation for time, so that time is equal to the distance over velocity. Alright, so we're going to have two separate times here for this first part of the path and the second part of the path. So the time 1 is going to be distance of the first part of the path, x1, right, over the velocity of the first part, which is 3. So, and then time 2 is going to be distance of the second part divided by velocity of the second part, which is 6. Alright, and our total time is going to be time 1 and time 2 together. Time 1 is how long it took to walk the first part, and time 2 is how long it took to walk the second part. Our total time is going to be x1 over 3, the time for the first time, plus x2 over 6. Alright, so now remember, we were given that the whole average speed of the whole thing is 5. So now, that's not the eraser. So now let's set our average speed as 5. So now we have this equation, and let's simplify it. So notice we have two denominators in the bottom, on the very bottom. So let's try to find a common denominator between them. Well, to find the common denominator between 3 and 6, it's 6. So let's just multiply this term by 2. So we're going to be given 5 is equal to x1 plus x2 over, this is going to be a denominator of 6, which means they're going to have the same denominator, which means we can divide the terms and put it all over one denominator, 6. 2 times x1, which is 2x1, plus x2 over 6. So whenever you're dividing a number, you can also multiply by its reciprocal. And a reciprocal means you just flip the numerator and denominator. So since we're dividing by this 2x1 plus x2 over 6, we can just multiply by the denominator. Meaning we could flip this 6 to the top and multiply it in the numerator. Meaning this 6 can be transferred into the top, into the numerator. So we would multiply 6 with each term, so we'd have 5 is equal to 6, 1 6x1 plus 6x2 over 2x1 plus x2. And now we want to get rid of the denominator. We can times both sides by 2x1 plus x2. So we'll remove the denominator here. 2x1 plus x2. Remove the denominator here. Remember, multiply on both sides. So we have our new equation, or rewritten equation, of 10x1 plus 5x2. Since you just read the 5, or you just read the 5 to both terms, is equal to 6x1 plus 6x2. Now, if we combine the like terms, meaning we subtract negative 6x1 from both sides, that'll cancel out, and we subtract the 5x2 from both sides, we'll get that 4x1 is equal to x2. This means that x2 is 4 times as large as x1. So, meaning our distance, our second part of our route, of our path, is 4 times as large as the first part. Okay, so let's write our answer out. The second part is 4 times as large as the first. As large or as long, or however you want to write it. Alright, so this is our answer to our problem. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time. Bye.